Getting the introductions now for our Spewak Training High School Girls Elite Mile. And we have our elite and our championship sections, but really the championship section has a lot of talent, but so does this elite field as well. As we get the introductions now. Of course, our pacer will be Josie Baker, running 70 seconds per 400 meters. Go down the list of athletes: Josie Baker, Clark Goranson. This is Kelsey Kadzia of Leavenworth. Maya Easterwood from Coppell, Texas. This is Maya Bybee of Lone Peak out of Utah. Lily Bashir is a standout athlete from Rogers High School in Arkansas. Ruby Schwelm out of the Tatnall School in Delaware. Casey Nigman from Lake Norman in North Carolina. Abigail Anstead out of Georgetown Visitation in Virginia. Caroline Biting from Lexington Catholic out of Kentucky. Mia Williams, Fossil Ridge, Colorado, lifetime best 4:53.80 for the 1600 meters. Mary Neesmith of Marietta, Georgia, 4:45.90 for the mile. Macy Wingard of the state of Texas, Braswell. And then Gianna Raymer of El Dorado, New Mexico. Already saw her sister win that middle school mile in a sixth grade national record. Here you see.
Well, it's a very good
looks
field.
Like actually looks like maybe Raymer's a late scratch. I'm looking at the.
I thought they introduced her, and I saw her with her characteristic headband. This one is kind of a pick'em too. Certainly, Wingard with the 4:45.82, Swan with a 4:44.95 this year. They might be the co-favorites, although Carolyn Biting from Lexington, Kentucky, she's run 4:46.10 for the mile, and she's also a 2:09.49 800-meter runner. There's Raymer, you can see right there in the middle. I'm sure she was inspired by her sister's national record performance, but you can always tell the Raymers by the headbands. This will be an interesting pace here. We're supposed to be running 70 seconds per lap. Josie Baker, that would equate to a 4:42 mile. Will be very interesting.
Fastest time, seed time in this field is 4:46.67 by Caroline Barton of Carolina Day, North Carolina, the future Princeton commit. As we get underway here now in the girls' elite mile. Again, the pacers, Josie Baker, 70 seconds per 400 meters. And Macy Wingard of the state of Texas, aggressive early on, along with Barton right behind her in second.
Yeah, Wingard is a 4:45.82 miler, so completely legit there at the front. I am a bit surprised that there's so much separation going on right now, because this field is incredibly tightly matched, and there's already separation. There's already 4 that have broken away with the pacer here.
Wingard, Barton, they got Swan out of Illinois in that 4th position, just ahead of her. Looks like Neesmith out of Marietta, Georgia. 67.15 for the first 440 yards for Wingard, Barton, Neesmith, and Easterwood. And then Carolina beating back there in that 5th position in 68.36.
The reason why you saw so much separation is they were supposed to go through in 70 seconds, and they went through 3 seconds faster than that. So we may see some people from back in that pack make some moves a little bit later in the race. Whenever you see separation like that, that indicates that the pace is faster than expected. When it's bunched, it means that the pace is either on or a little bit slow. And you can see it's starting to tighten up now. After that 4 separated, it's starting to tighten up because things have slowed down a bit.
Lined up sixth now here in the home straightaway with Wingard, Barton, Neesmith, Beating, Our pacer took them through 67 seconds on that first 440 yards. As you said, Tom, the pace has slowed down here halfway through, right around 220. So they're back right on pace with that 73 seconds.
Yeah, but that first lap takes a toll, Keaton, and anybody that was a little bit further back is probably going to have a bit of an advantage. And you can see really tightening things up now. So this becomes anybody's race. That first lap was just too fast, and the pack is going to start coming back. We're going to see if anybody wants to take up the run right now. And Barton is the person, as you mentioned, she's the fastest in the field. She's taking up the pace here. But I have to say that Annika Swan looks very, very good. 4:44.95 for the metric mile, 4:46.85 for the yards this year.
Everyone's still in this one now with 600 meters to go as Swan goes to the lead. Barton on the outside in second. And Barton,
even Raymer with the
falls.
headband is in contention. Raymer has about the slowest time coming in, but that's altitude without a lot of competition, and you can see her now starting to move up there.
Raymer back there in that sixth position. Barton falls back to third. Bell lap now with 6 girls in contention. 3:34.08, 73.27 for Annika Swan of St. Ignatius College. And Macy Wingard there on the inside of her shoulder right there as well.
I'm keeping an eye on Raymer because somebody that races at altitude that hasn't had a chance to run against heavy competition to get the fast times, she's moving out into lane number 2. Watch her go. There goes Raymer.
And Raymer moves on to the outside now with under 200 to go, looking to see if she can replicate what her sister did here on this last 400 meters in that junior high race. The freshman from El Dorado, New Mexico, showing patience over this last lap.
Boy, does she have long strides. Not great turnover, but very, very long strides. And this young woman,
Raymer,
who we thought was mostly a long-distance runner, putting the wood to the mile field.
Raymer takes a look over his shoulder, enough room for her, and that's a second win for, right at the line, real close though. Almost a premature celebration by Gianna Raymer as Mary Neesmith almost goes right by her at the finish line, but nonetheless, it's Gianna Raymer getting the win, 4:43.24. It takes 11 seconds off of her lifetime best of 4:54.
And that's a classic example of why you can't go on lifetime best. Raymer wasn't in races with heavy competition all season long. She's got the benefit of altitude training. We know she's a competitor from winning that Southwest Regional Cross Country a couple years ago as an 8th grader. You can't teach that kind of competitiveness. This young lady is an absolute 100% gamer with a capital G.
But on the flip side, Tom, a premature celebration almost cost her that win at the very end from Neesmith.
It did, and Neesmith never gave up. The young lady from Marietta, Georgia, really did a nice job, really closed incredibly well. Just left it a little bit too late.
I think you see just how close of a finish that was between Raymer and Neesmith. 0.06 of a second separate our top two.
I would love to know in the
freshman
interview if Raymer knew that Neesmith was that close. Because Neesmith really finished fast. By the way, Keaton, 9 under 450, 9 under 450, and that 4:43.24, the 14th fastest miler in the country now, Raymer.
4:43.24 for Raymer, and Neesmith 0.06 of a second behind her in that second position, and then a really solid effort from Mia Williams. Another one, coming down from altitude, getting the benefit of racing here at sea level, finishing in 4:43.97. So really, just a really very competitive race, and we're going to see that throughout the next couple of hours with these remainder races, because it's the best and the fastest of the entire country right here in St. Louis. And all smiles there for Gianna Raymer there on the podium stand, and a nice little sportsmanship between her, Neesmith, and Williams. But again, truly a special talent, and we've got to witness her the last couple of years. As an 8th grader, won that, that Southwest Regional title to go on to the national championships, and really caught the attention of the entire country there, and has certainly made a name for herself the last couple of years.
And what a job by the Raymer family. A national record for 6th graders for the young Raymer, Isla, and then Gianna taking that race with incredible savvy.
Well, that makes it 2 wins for the Raymer family. Let's hear from the older sister, Gianna, as she's down there with Tyler Day.
All right, let's send it down to Tyler Day.
Gianna, congratulations. Freshman that's blitzing a 4:43 mile. First off, how are you able to hold off everyone on that last lap?
I, to be honest, have no idea what just happened. I just ran and then ran as fast as I could.
Is that your game plan going into any mile that you find yourself in?
I don't know. I guess I have a plan, and then this race didn't exactly follow that, so I just ran as fast as I could.
And last question, how does it feel to be the champion of the high school girls elite mile?
It feels so good. It was so much fun. I just got to watch my sister absolutely crush her race, too. So it's so fun to get to run on the same track as her.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Gianna from New Mexico.
3 more years we get to watch her, Tom, and this is just the start of what is, what's to come for an athlete like Gianna Raymer. And, she shows no fear whatsoever. I mean, as you said, she was, about 6th place on the last lap, and never a doubt that she thought probably in her head that she was going to lose this race.
You can't teach that kind of competitiveness. You either have it or you